And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed. To you it shall be for food. Genesis 1:29. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. Psalm 78:25. Everyday Manna with Lisa.
Hi everybody and welcome to Everyday Manna. I'm Austin Smith and I have a special host, Lisa Carol Smith.
Lisa Carol Smith. Are you the host now?
Yes, I am.
Well, what are we cooking today?
I have no idea.
We are going to make tacos, homemade tacos. We are going to make some s'mores, which is this one's one of your favorite things to eat. He is a chocolate boy. And to go along with that, we're going to make a Spanish rice. We are not, however, going to open up that pack of pre-packaged up spice mix that you buy. We're going to make our own. And this is something that you can multiply the volume of the spices that I'm going to give you and keep it stored in your cupboard. And then it's ready to go when you want to have a quick night of tacos. On the stove, I have a skillet of just 2 pounds of ground chuck. And I'm browning that, and I'm going to drain that once the beef gets all browned. You absolutely could make this with ground turkey or ground chicken if that's what you want. It would be delicious that way. But I'm using ground beef today. Austin has a spice bowl because he is spice boy. And in this, let me tell you what we have before we mix it up. I have 1 tablespoon of chili powder, just commercial chili powder, about a teaspoon or so of dried oregano, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of onion powder or the dehydrated minced onion, whichever you have, and then a couple of teaspoons or maybe up to a tablespoon, depending on how much you like, of cumin, ground cumin. And to that, Austin is going to add a teaspoon, this is a teaspoon measurer, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of pepper. So if you want to add that and then blend all that together, you could double or triple that quantity if you wanted to. Yes, put it in there. And then keep it stored in your cupboard when what you don't use would be fine. Now, I do that all the time with my spice blends and then keep it stored. That's good. Doesn't have to be exact. All right, now Austin, take your whisk and stir all that together.
Okay.
Just mix it up together. And that's going to be our spice mixture for our tacos. Instead of the packaged taco seasoning mix, which is good, but it has other things in it and it has a lot of sodium in it. This way you can control the amount of salt you're putting in your food, and it tastes delicious. My beef is browning up, and we're going to add that to it. We are also going to make a Spanish rice. Now, if you've never had Spanish rice, it's white rice with a tomato, garlicky kind of mixture added to it. So I've got my skillet preheating on medium-high heat, and I have half of an onion because you don't need a whole lot of onion. I have half of an onion, or 1 small onion. If you don't have a half of one, just use a small onion. You want to mince it kind of fine because you don't want big chunks of onion in your rice. Got that mixed up?
Yep.
Okay. Austin, what is your favorite thing to eat? What do you like to eat more than anything else?
Your homemade corned beef.
Yeah, you do like corned beef, don't you?
Yep.
This is the sweetest child, I'll tell you. He loves Mom's cooking, and it makes me melt. He would rather eat my cooking at home than I guess about anything, and I love that, and it just warms my heart. But he likes to cook too. He and Aaron both do, and they cook sometimes. They'll bring me different things that they make, and love to make me salads because I'm a big salad eater. I like a lot of salad. And so he brings me salad and different things. We're going to add that to the beef in just a minute, so just set it to the side. Now, in our skillet, you want to chop the garlic or not?
Sure.
You know how to, here, you can use this knife. I'll peel it, and then you chop it up real fine, but watch your fingers, please. Let me cut off the end. I need it minced up real fine. There you go.
Can I use
There's
this?
1 clove of garlic, and that's going to go in our rice.
Can I use this one?
Use whichever one you want. Be careful. Okay. Now, to my skillet that's preheated, I'm going to add about 3 teaspoons or so of olive oil. You could use canola oil, would be fine. And I'm going to add my onion first because I'm going to saute the onion. I'm not going to add the garlic until the onion is softened because garlic will burn. And I don't want to burn my garlic because it turns bitter and it really is not good. And that is a hot, hot pan. So I'm actually going to turn that down just a little. You want to cook this until it's translucent and just barely starting to turn golden. If you don't have any onions, now in my house, onions is a staple ingredient. It's a pantry ingredient. I always have onions. But maybe you don't have any and you've got green onions. You could use the green onions. Or if you don't have any onions at all, you could leave that out. But I would add some kind of other flavor component, maybe a little extra garlic, or not garlic powder, but onion powder or something. If you don't like the chunks, you could add that. Or, you know, some other kind of aromatic ingredient. The onion just brings another layer of flavor to what can be a bland food product, and that is rice. Rice can be kind of bland. Now, our beef is browning. It's browning up nicely. We love tacos at my house. I just adore tacos. And my Aaron, I'll tell you what, that child can eat 6 tacos easy. No problem at all. He loves them. Oh, that's a great job, Austin. Okay, let's get it all together with our little scooper. This is a bench scraper. I've had a lot of people email me. Let me see your knife, just 2 seconds here. About this particular tool, and it's called a bench scraper, and you really can find them anywhere. They're a baking tool, but I use them in the kitchen along with other people to move food around. Most of them have a ruler here, and it's a great, great tool to have. You really shouldn't use your knife, and I know I'm guilty of it, of using my knife to gather ingredients. You really should use something like this, and they're very easy to find. Any place that has a decent kitchen section will have these. There's different brands, and some have a wooden handle, but I like the little metal one. I can just stick this in the dishwasher. Now, I'm going to add 1 can of diced, fire-roasted tomatoes to my rice mixture, 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, and I'm just going to let that simmer for just a minute. Now, I'm not going to cook this on the stove top here for you. It's already done today. But you need to have at least 3 cups of cooked, drained white rice. I just buy the boil in the bag rice that you can buy in the box and cook up a couple of bags of it, and that's fine. I'm just kind of going to let this heat together and get those flavors mixed up. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to drain off the beef, and when we come back, we're going to add Austin's spice mixture to the tacos, chop up some toppings, then we're going to make some s'mores just for him. We'll be back in just a minute. Now, we are going to finish up our sauces for our tacos and our rice, and then he's going to make the s'mores. To my rice mixture, which is just the tomatoes, the onions, and garlic right at the moment, I'm going to add a little bit of salt, maybe a teaspoon or so, and just a pinch of pepper, and a 1 4-ounce can of just plain tomato sauce. And I just want to heat this through, and then we'll add our rice in just a few minutes. You want it to be just a little bit, see how loose it is and how, for lack of a better word, liquidy it is? You want that because the rice is going to absorb all of that excess liquid. So leave that just to be warm. We drained our beef. Austin, do you want to add your spice mixture? Sure. Now, I always add my dried spices, all of it. Be careful. To my mixture before I add any liquid, because the oil that's in the pan, the natural oils in the beef, will bring out the flavors or bloom, if you will, the spices of the taco seasoning mix. Anytime you're using dried spices, do that. Add your spices and let them toast for just a second before you add anything else. And then I've got about a cup. I don't know how much I'm going to need, maybe 3/4 of the cup. I'm going to turn this to low. I'm just going to add it all. About a cup of water. And I'm just going to let this simmer on low for about 15 minutes or so. I think I could probably use a little more water in there. And just let those flavors absorb into the meat. And that is homemade taco seasoning mix. And that could not be easier. All right, Austin. Let me turn that down to low, that down to low. And let's get on to dessert. S'mores is a classic. And you really need a campfire until now to do s'mores. And there's nothing better than being around a campfire. And we're going to do that this spring.
1 minute.
We're going to make s'mores by the campfire. But we don't have a campfire. So how can we make s'mores? S'mores are graham crackers,
Yes.
marshmallows,
Yes.
and what else?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. So we bought the little mini graham cracker crusts that you can buy in any store out there. They come 6 to a pack. This recipe will make 12. Just take those out, and that's your graham cracker. 1 box of instant chocolate pudding. And the box recipe calls for 2 cups of milk. I like my pudding a little bit thicker, so I always go a little bit less, like maybe a 1.5 cups or 1 3/4 of milk. So Austin, you want to pour that milk in there and then beat that together with a mixer or a whisk, whichever you have, for just a minute or so until that completely dissolves. And so Austin's going to mix up our chocolate pudding. You could make homemade chocolate pudding if you wanted to, but one. I kind of like the instant puddings, but you can make homemade if you like. Now, once it starts, turn it up to 2 and get that going until all that powder dissolves. And you will probably need to scrape down the side. Keep that on that one side there a minute. Now, you see how that pudding, just kind of take your spatula and get all that dissolved. And then we bought just a plain old chocolate bar that, if it makes it to the s'mores, will grate over top. However, in my house, chocolate doesn't last very long. Not with this boy around. He loves chocolate, so he likes that kind of chocolate, actually. All right, turn it up just a little more and mix that all together. All I'm doing is stirring the taco meat and stirring our rice mixture. That's probably good, Austin. Now that needs to set for just a couple of minutes to kind of thicken up.
Where'd I put this?
And then that'll be done. Well, here, let me take that. Let's check it out. I'm sure it's ready. We'll unplug that. You could do this, really, you could do this with any flavor pudding that you like. I mean, traditionally, of course, s'mores has chocolate, but maybe you could use the white chocolate pudding, or you could use vanilla. You could use any kind of flavor that you like, but we like chocolate, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. We love to, at home, Mike and a friend of ours built, oh gosh, I guess about 2 years ago, built a small little fire pit down in the bottom of our yard. And there is nothing we love to do more on an evening than to build a campfire and take down marshmallows and roast them over the campfire. And we're going to do that with you very, very soon. We've got some things in place to where we can take you to our fire pit at our home and share that with you. But we love to make s'mores with graham crackers and marshmallows and pudding. And this could not be easier. Absolutely could not be easier. So we are going to take a spoon. Let me get a spoon. Preheat your broiler to high. And then take the pudding, and I'll let Austin do this, and fill up. Now this recipe will make 12, but we're just going to do 6 today. Preheat your broiler and then fill up your little shells with your pudding mixture.
About like 2 scoops each.
Oh, just, yeah, that's good. A couple of scoops. And fill those up, and then take mini marshmallows and put over top of your pudding. And then we're going to put that briefly under the broiler and let those marshmallows melt and become golden and yum, yum. Then we'll grate some chocolate over top. Our tacos are smelling good too. All right. So, how are we doing?
Good.
And you haven't even eaten any of the chocolate. I'm proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
You need some help, or you got it?
Got it.
Got it? Okay. Here, let's use this, Austin, and we can scrape down. These little spatulas are wonderful because they'll get every little drop out of there. We can do that. Whoops. And I made a mess. He was so neat, and look what Mom did. Mom made a mess. Let's put this one. This one looks a little lonely. He doesn't have as much as his friends, does he? All right. Now, Austin, take those mini marshmallows. You could use big ones. If you only have the big marshmallows, then I would cut them maybe into quarters. But, you know, we keep mini marshmallows all the time because we like it in our hot chocolate. And then just top each one with some mini marshmallows. And then you're going to put that under the broiler for about maybe 2 or 3 minutes, the broiler in your oven. Watch it very, very closely because those marshmallows will go from white to black in a heartbeat. So you got to watch it very, very closely. So put your broiler on high, and then once you get the marshmallows on there, put it under the broiler for about probably a minute. Try it at 30 seconds to a minute, maybe a minute and a half would be the most you will need if your broiler's hot. And you know, that's one thing I noticed, every stove is different. So what takes my stove a minute might just be, you know, seconds on yours. So you watch it very, very close. We're going to take a quick break. We're just going to put these under the broiler, and when we come back, we'll show you what they look like. We'll be back in just a minute. And welcome back. Now, we have 2 bags of the rice, or about 2-3 cups of rice, cooked and drained, and we are going to add it to our tomato mixture and just let it warm through, and the rice will absorb the excess liquid in the tomatoes and be delicious. Now, our tacos are just simmering away back here. And this is done. You could add some chopped fresh parsley or cilantro if you wanted to over top, but I like it just plain. You could add some refried beans to your meal. You could heat up some refried beans or make your own. We've made those on a previous program before. And there you go. A great side dish, just Spanish rice, and it's done. It's just warming through. Now our taco meat is through, but we got to finish the s'mores. Look how beautiful they came out, and literally I think it took about 30 seconds for those marshmallows to go from white to golden brown, and they look so good, and it's all we can do not to eat them till we show them to you. But this is what you want it to look like. Watch them carefully. I promise you they will go from that to black just like that. Now, over top of that is, if that's not good enough, we are going to grate some chocolate. So Austin has just a bar of chocolate and a zester, and he's going to just grate over some chocolate over top of the s'mores. And I'm very proud of him because he hasn't eaten any of the chocolate yet. Yet. And that just adds that little extra something. You could use a coarser microplane if you wanted to and make the grates a little bigger. If I had one here, I don't think we have a coarser, but you can buy these things in all kinds of hole sizes. So those are good. That looks beautiful.
That enough?
That's enough. And there is your homemade s'mores, and you do not need a campfire. You can make them at home in your oven under the broiler. Now, let's chop up some toppings for our tacos. Here is where you decide what you like. Everybody is different. Everybody likes different things on their tacos. I like, oddly enough, pickles, lettuce, and salsa, and a little bit of cheese. Aaron likes just cheese. Mike likes everything. Most people like everything. You're not a real big fan of tacos. Do you want to chop the tomato or the lettuce? Which do you want to do? Hurry up.
Tomato.
Okay.
Tomato
Let me
salad.
core it and then chop it up into little fine pieces. You just put whatever you like. Sour cream, salsa, tomatoes, whatever you like. You pick yourself a knife.
Sweet.
I'm going to turn my tacos down. They're done. And then you can have, this is a great thing to make and have like a taco bar, you know, when you have a party or something and you got people, or if it's just your family, whatever. Just set out the toppings in little bowls or on a big board like we're going to do. And then everybody can custom blend their own tacos. You need, of course, some shredded cheese. I mean, what is a taco without cheese?
So basically just slice these.
Just some shredded cheddar or Monterey Jack or whatever you want. Slice them and then dice it into little small pieces. And I'll show you how we put together our tacos. You know, it's funny because my niece likes pickles on her tacos too. And I think we're probably the only two people that do, but try it. It's really good. If you like pickles, and I've always been a huge pickle fan, try it on your tacos. They're delicious. Kosher dill pickles on your taco. I know it's strange, but it really is good. You could do sour cream. You could do diced onion. I've got a little bit of green onion here. Some people like raw onion in their tacos, and I think that's plenty of lettuce. How you doing over there? You're doing a good job on that tomato, aren't you? My boys really do really, really well with their knife skills. I'm very proud of them. That's good. You don't want it too fine. That's good. That's perfect. Now cut up the rest of them. I'm going to mince up just a little bit of green onion, and then we will fix up a taco or two. Quick, easy dinner to make any night of the week. These are recipes that you could do even on your busiest day. And cooking at home, taking the things that you love to eat out in restaurants and then adapting them to the home kitchen is the way to go, because you can control what goes in your food. You can control the amount of sodium. You'll be surprised if you will read the back of the packages of those spice blends and things, and I do use those sometimes, but when you can make your own and it's just so much healthier for you, and you saw us do it right here, anybody can do this. So I'm going to assemble a couple of tacos for you here, the way that I like them, minus the pickles. Take a little bit of your beef. Got to have some cheese. Let me get some shredded up cheddar cheese. This is cheddar and Monterey Jack mixed, which is perfectly fine. Just kind of have your board and have all your ingredients out, and there you go. I like hard shell. You can do soft. You can do whatever you like. Put a little bit of your meat down in there. And I like to put my cheese down right over top of that meat, and then it melts a little bit. A little bit of salsa. Just jarred is fine, or make your own. And some lettuce. And there you go. You've got your vegetables, you got your protein, you got your calcium in your cheese. Complete meal in one, right there in your tacos. And they're easy to make, and they're so good. And something most everybody likes. And then I'll make two, because who can eat just one taco? and a little tomato. He's doing a really good job over here on these tomatoes. I'll just put cheese on that one. Some people just like cheese. People like different things on them. You can custom blend it. These are just some topping ideas for you with the lettuce and the onions and different things, whatever your family likes. And then we cannot forget our beautiful rice, our Spanish rice. This would be great alongside a roast if you have a roast, you know, one night, or a grilled piece of chicken or a grilled steak or something like that would be delicious over top of that. And there you go, a simple, quick, easy taco night for your house. That's good, buddy. Thank you for joining with me, Austin.
You're welcome.
You did a really good job. You want to tell everybody bye? And we'll see them next time.
Bye. See you next time on Everyday Manna with my assistant, Lisa.
AKA Mama. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for watching Everyday Manna with Lisa. This program is made possible by viewers like you. Your support is continually needed to keep Christian programming on the air. Please send your best financial gift to Living Faith Television in care of Everyday Manna. P.O. Box 1867, Abingdon, Virginia 24212.